Yes, today we'll be dealing with section 2, that is the definition part of CPC. Now, there are in all 20 definitions provided in CPC. First deals with the code. As we have discussed, code includes rules. Code here means include rules. While discussing the scheme of CPC, we have already discussed that the entire scheme of CPC inclusive of two things, two part. One part which deals with section and the another part which deals with the orders and rules. The rules being provided under orders. So, because though some part, that is to say section part which is substantive in nature, provides the rights and obligations of the parties, but again, these rights and the obligations for its purposes of enforcement depends upon the order part or the second part of the CPC, that is to say, under which the orders and rules has been provided, and hence without the implementation or without the enforcement or without going through the orders and rules, no high court would be in a position to provide the rights and the obligations or to enforce these rights or the obligations which has been provided under one part, and hence understanding these orders and rules become important. The entire CPC is nothing but a body of rules with the help of which we can get the rights and the duties provided in the part 1 of the CPC enforced, but apart of that, all the other civil laws which gives us somehow one or the other rights and implement or want to enforce somewhat a duties or an obligation of the party need to comply with the procedure which has been provided under CPC. So CPC area is very wide. It not only helps in enforcing the rights and the duties which is provided under the section part of CPC itself, but further it also provides the implementation of rights and obligations which are provided in the other laws also. So, with the help of these rules, with the help of these orders, we can get the right and the obligation enforced. So, code here includes rules. The another important definition is decree. Now, decree means what? Decree is nothing but a formal expression of an adjudication. Now, what do we mean by the term adjudication? Adjudication is nothing but a final decision. Adjudication is nothing but a final decision. Up we have even heard the word order. We have even heard the word judgment. If we consider any order, can we consider any order to be a final order? No. Order in between are passed in any of the matter wherein later on may be vacated also. And hence any of the order which could be vacated could not be considered to be a final order. And hence that particular order could not be termed to be an adjudication. So, and it cannot be further considered to be a decree. Similarly, we also know judgment. Judgment is again also not a decree. Judgment is a base over which a decree is passed. So, judgment is nothing but a prepared base. Prepared base on the basis of the facts brought by the party before the court, the law favoring the party in the matter, the issues framed by the court, the answer which or the reasons which the court have given to those issues while deciding the matter, and at last the court come to any particular decision. Then in that case, this entire work, the entire platform which been made ready by the court is called as a judgment. But the gist of this judgment is called as a decree. So in decree, we formally express what we have adjudicated by way of making that particular base. So decree is nothing but a gist. and after passing of a decree, nothing remained to be decided, right? So decree means a formal expression of an adjudication which, so far as regards the court expressing it conclusively determines the rights of the parties. I am using the word conclusively determining. Conclusively determining means what? Nothing is left later on to be decided. Everything been decided here only in this matter only. When it is done so, nothing is left to be further taken, and hence it is called as conclusively determining the rights of the parties may be with regard to all or any of the matter in the controversy suit. A void has been written that it may be with regard to all or any of the matter in controversy in the suit. For example, take it if there are 2 to 3 issues between you and me, the issues of the conflict. Then in that case, entirely 3 issues the court may decide conclusively and the court may pass a decree. Or the court may decide one issue to be a conclusive one and the another issue the court is unable to decide, or court has said that I cannot decide this matter, or has decided wrongly, suppose. Then in that case, the issue which the court has decided wrongly would not be considered to be a final decision, and hence we would take the same to be in appeal. Therefore, such would not be considered to be a decree. In that situation, that would not be considered to be a decree. So, for considering any of the order to be or any of the judgment to be a decree, what is important? It should conclusively determine the rights of the parties with regard to all or any of the matter of controversy in the suit, and may be either preliminary or the final. Word preliminary and or final is provided here. Now, what do we mean by the term preliminary or final? So, एक चीज तो we are clear that decree may be preliminary or it may be final. There is again a third situation wherein decree may be partly preliminary and partly final. But first, यहाँ पे because it has been only specified that the decree may be the preliminary or final. Now, let us see the situation. If I file a suit against you for mesne profit and for possession. So, for mesne profit and for possession. So, possession is final because I have given my sale deed, I have shown all the documents relating to my ownership. So one issue is final, that property belongs to me. Now, to that extent, decree is final. Now, preliminary decree means what? Because I have even filed a suit for mesne profit. Now, what do we mean by the term mesne profit? Before going how the mesne profit order is preliminary, it is important for us to understand what do we mean by the term mesne profit. Whenever you remain in the property of another without the consent of that particular person, while remaining in that particular property, you make some sort of benefit out of it. You are not entitled for that particular benefit. Who is entitled to that particular benefit? The person who is having that particular property, the person who is the owner of that property would be considered to be the owner of that particular profit also, or to be the right claimant to claim that particular profit also. That particular profit is called as a mercy. So I said when you are remaining or when you are staying in the property of the other without the permission. How come this could be when you do not know that somebody has entered into your property and is staying there and making a profit? So that particular profit you can claim the same to be a mesne profit, because if suppose you've been there in that particular property, you would have also done something and you would have gone. But because some other person is there and you are unable to make profit, and therefore whatever the profit that particular other person is making without your consent, remaining in your property without your consent, you are entitled to that profit, and therefore it is called as a mesne. Another situation is, suppose if you have created a tenancy in your property, and tenancy period gets lapsed, the tenancy period comes to an end, but even after expiration of that tenancy period, the tenant is not vacating the premises. Now the tenant is not vacating the premises means what? He is staying without your permission. So when he is staying without your permission and thereby making somewhat of profit out of that particular property, suppose he has opened a shutter in that particular property, doing his own business in that particular property, then in that case, it would be considered that particular tenant is staying there without your permission. Whatever the property is making, he is not entitled to that, and he is making a mezzanine profit for which you are entitled. And hence, how much mezzanine profit he has made need to be investigated, right? So till the time the investigation gets complete, till the time it is clear that how much of mezzanine profit he has made, till the time the decree of the court will be considered to be preliminary. So possession, because you have filed a suit for possession and for mezzanine profit. Possession, you have established that after showing your deeds that you are the owner of the particular property, so the decree is final. Nothing need to be now decided. It is decided that you are the owner of it. But so far as the mezzanine profit is concerned, court have to give direction to the person that you give us the account, whatever the profit you have made, from how many years you've been there, how much business you have done, how much expenses you have made, how much profit you have acquired out of that particular business. These all questions need to be decided by the court, which may take a time. You may have to ask for issue of commission. The commission will go there. That is to say, a person appointed by the court will go there, would see the book of accounts and everything. It would take time. So till the time it is, the court has decided that yes, being a owner, you are entitled for mezzanine profit, whatever this particular guy has made, and this guy do not have any of the right now to be continued in this particular premises and hence need to be thrown out. And this is what the court has decided. But how much mezzanine profit you are entitled is yet to be decided because the report of the commission is yet to be submitted before the court. Till the time, the particular decree would be considered to be preliminary so far as the particular issue is concerned. So the decree in a suit may be preliminary or final. It shall be deemed to include a rejection of the plaint. It shall be deemed to include a rejection of plaint means what? If you do not have any of the right in a law to make that particular plaint. Suppose if your right is not infringed, you do not have a right to go to court. When your right is not infringed, you do not have a right to go. Your plaint may be rejected, saying that you do not have a right to come to court. Then in that case, the decision given by the court would be considered to be a decree, and the determination of any question within the section 144. The determination of any section within the section 144 means what? 144. What does section 144 says? Section 144 speaks about restitution, restoring the position again. So once the court in any of the matter restore any party's position, then in that case, even that particular decree or order by the court will be considered. Yeah. But again, there are certain things now we knew what is decree. Decree means what? It is nothing but a formal expression of an adjudication, the final decision given by the court. It is expressed by the court. It conclusively determines the rights of the parties, maybe with regard to all or any of the matter in controversy between the parties in a suit. This particular decree may be preliminary or may be final, and it will include the rejection of plaint to. A part of that, it would also determine or decide if any question is there in any of these suits relating to restitution of the party, restoring of the party. So this is nothing but a decree. But again, there are certain things which do not covered under the head decree or which does not include the term. Now, what are the things which are not covered under the decree or which is not included in? So, any adjudication from which an appeal lies. Appeal, why appeal lies? Because the party is not satisfied with the decision of the lower court and hence the appeal lies. When we say that party is not satisfied with the decision taken by the lower court, can we say that court has conclusively determined the right of the party? No, because if the court have conclusively determined the right of the parties, why one of the party is in grievance, why one of the parties aggrieved by the decision of the court? Conclusion should always be making everybody happy, and conclusion should always be giving the right to a person who is entitled to it. And disowning the person who is not entitled to it. Here, because the adjudication done by the court has not conclusively determined the rights of the parties, and hence the aggrieved party want to go in appeal and has went in appeal. Then in that case, whatever the lower court has given the adjudication or has given the decision will not be considered law. Okay. Next is any of the order of dismissal for default. Default means what? A party been directed to do something and the party has negligently or due to one or the other reason has not done it. Suppose if twice, thrice, four times, five times, you has given you has given you a date, you have not appeared before. Maybe negligently or maybe some of the other reason. And by chance court has dismissed for non-compliance of the order of the court. Then in that case, even that particular thing cannot be considered, right? So next is if we take into consideration the explanation, then in that case, a decree is preliminary when further proceedings have to be taken before the suit can be completed. Decree is preliminary till the time the further proceeding is yet to be taken place. For example, we in the earlier slide discussed the situation wherein I filed a suit against you with two causes. One, the possession and the another one is the mezzanine property. So, among both the issues, the court would decide one issue and later on would decide the other issue. In my case, the court has decided that yes, that property belongs to me. But again, one issue is left to be decided by the court yet. That is the question relating to mezzanine property. The court has appointed a commission to submit a report after some days and later on the court will decide how much the mezzanine profit I am entitled to. Till the time the court decides finally how much amount the mezzanine profit I am entitled, the decree which is passed by the court regarding my ownership, though decided conclusively that I am the owner of that property, but still that decree considered preliminary one for the reason the further proceedings need to be taken to completely dispose of the. It is final when such adjudication completely dispose of the suit. So, decree always becomes final when this adjudication completely disposes of the suit. So, after calculating the investment profit, when the court at last would consider that yes, Anita madam is not only entitled for the possession of this particular property, but she is entitled to have 25,000 rupees mezzanine profit. Then, in that case, we would say the court has given a final decree. The decree, which was preliminary early, has now finally been made, finally adjudicated, and hence completely disposed of the suit. Then, till the time it would be called as partly preliminary and partly final. The decree would be called as a partly preliminary and partly final because only the part has been decided and part is left to be decided. Part has remained to be decided. So unless and until the remaining portion is finally decided, it would be considered to be partly preliminary and partly final.